Hello, this is a prepaid debit call from an inmate of the El Paso County Criminal Justice Center.
I'm very like fashion. 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 I'm very like fashion.
These ninjas keep coming in my room and they force me to braid my hair and join the Mexican Mafia, but I don't want to be in there, but they had me put my hair in like 1,000 braids and they wouldn't leave my room.
We live a life.
I ate 2 bags of other entries. Okay, bye.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday, and you know what that means. Maniac Tisha video visits. Okay, so we have a few more jail calls from June of 2021 to get to. I think there's maybe 10 more. I don't know. Allie's in charge of the June ones. I don't know. But anyways, there's not that many left. And I wanted to remind everybody that we have other stuff coming. So that'll be exciting. And I want to thank everybody for being here so very much. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your support. Let me bring Allie up so we can get started. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. What are you doing?
Not sitting here waiting on this to start. And yeah, looking forward to chatting with you because it's been a minute since we've been on here and kind of, you know, we've had all of this stuff. It's just hard to go through it all and we don't want to do it every single day.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited to get back to it with you.
Me too.
So, yeah,
Me too. Me too. So yeah, also there's something else I want to tell everybody, but I can't remember if I did add it or not. Let me say thank you, Mindy, for being a member for 2 months. And thank you, Lil Red, for being a member for 7 months. I appreciate that very, very much. Oh, okay. So if you guys haven't already joined my Patreon, you might want to do that, especially if you're into some of the reality TV, because I cover that. But also on Wednesdays, I'm going back to my roots, which is the West Memphis 3. And we're going to be reading Terry Hobbs' book called Boxful of Nightmares. And hopefully when I'm done reading the book with you guys, a chapter a day or, you know, a chapter a week, I'll be ready to put together that part of the documentary that I'm working on. And all that stuff is going to be over in Patreon. Also, I have a lot of ideas as far as sort of like documentaries, but also I want to have discussions about specific cases, but they're not, the cases I want to talk about aren't YouTube friendly. I'd have to censor a whole lot. And even then, I'm not even sure if it would make it through. So that's why I'm doing it over in Patreon. I only have one level. It's $5 a month. I get it. Maybe I can gift some or something. But anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you guys. I don't remember if I added Patreon to the to the Nightbot, but I'll do that while the calls are playing. So these calls are from September. And I want y'all to, I'm going to say this too. The audio isn't all that great. Again, I think that Amy is recording these video visits, but she's doing it and not wearing earbuds. So it's causing a reverb. It's super annoying. There isn't anything that I can do about it. I reached out to Crafton Barnes to see if there was anything that we could do to fix it, but he hasn't got back to me. And I don't know that there's anything we can do, even if. Anyway, so I just be prepared for that. I have the subtitles on. I did the best that I could. So, are you ready, babe?
Yeah, I'm ready, but just one second. Okay, so for a couple things, I can't. The StreamYard app won't let me type in the chat, so I want to say.
I told you to get rid of that damn thing.
Hello to everybody, and I'm reading all the chats. Also, I didn't know that this one had an audio. I thought some of them had decent audio. I didn't know that, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to deal with it, because if there's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do. And the only other thing I want to say is, YouTube is one major cesspool of just ridiculousness, and over here it's not like that, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for this awesome chat and community, because Lord have mercy, man, it just makes me want to run for the hills sometimes. And yeah, I just don't really want to chat any damn where these days. And so thank you, Jen, for having a nice community. I appreciate it.
Well, listen, I can't take any credit for that. Really, it goes to the chatters. And truth be told, I think, Allie, you and I, if we're going to talk about a community, I think you and I really are really built this part of the community, and I am grateful for it. Allie is 100% correct. It's been very, very difficult lately. This is why I haven't been live. When I get like that, I don't people very well when I'm annoyed, and for some reason, the being annoyed is starting to stay with me a lot longer. I can't it's harder for me to shake it off, because it just keeps going and going and going. And no matter how much I try to get away from it, it's still there. So anyway, this is a much needed respite from that. And
yeah, absolutely.
Of course, I built this city on rock and roll, and Melissa too. Exactly. Melissa did it too. Before we get really, really started for real, I want to say thank you to Teacup Kraken for gifting a membership. Thank you to Debbie Doodles for gifting a membership, and thank you to Music City Mom for gifting a membership. If you guys are the lucky recipients of the gifted memberships, please be sure to thank these guys. It's incredibly generous of them. All right. Are we ready? Yes.
We are. And I'm sorry.
No. Listen, this is like a babysitter's club meeting, right? We got to get out the old business before we can even move on to new business. So let's hear it, babe.
Okay. No, I just wanted to say, Homer had made a comment like, when I get paid, I will get a membership again. And I want you guys to know that please opt in for winning a gifted membership, because, we just appreciate you being here. I know Jen feels that way too. And especially when you're waiting paycheck, like times are hard. So, I just opt in and you might win a gifted membership. And Bendy, you might have some to give away soon.
I do.
At
I
least.
do. No,
Okay.
because it's the beginning of the month. So I do. I have some to give away,
Awesome.
and I will be doing that too. So, thank you very much, Abellis, for gifting a membership. Please thank Abellis if you're the one that got it. Carolina, thank you, babe, for becoming a member. Also, if you weren't in here a couple of days, no, I guess it would have, yeah, Saturday. When did I do that thing about Gypsy? Saturday, I think it was. Yeah. I changed the levels, and I added a different badge that I like better. I need to add another emoji, the big dill one for Letecia, because she a big old dill.
Yeah.
I think that's everything. Let me get started, and I will go and add the Patreon link to the Nightbot while we play this. Okay. Let me go over here, hit play. Also, spoiler alert, this is an entire month, I believe, of nothing but Amy. I can't remember. Sometimes I just block that stuff out, block it out, all the same. All right, here we go.
Hold on 1 second. Amy, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Also, just really quickly, there are 2 videos like this, video visits like this. One video visit, which is this one, you can see only Amy throughout the entire video visit. The other video visit, you can only see Letecia. It's weird. I don't know what the F is going on with Jim Tan Laundry over here, GTL, but that's the deal. I see Amy has spiced up her look, ditched the Roz glasses, and yeah. Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been here all the time. Hey, okay.
Hey. What was in your hand?
Oh, I was making a whippet.
Oh, okay, I wondered if that's what that was.
You take your comb.
Use a comb to stir it up.
Yeah, that's our spatula.
Ah, that's creative. So how's your morning going so far?
I played some spades, watched TV. Okay, so they gave us uniforms last night, and then I didn't put it on because it was 1:30 in the morning. So I just was like, I get ready to put it on. They hadn't cleaned them.
What?
So I had a meltdown. I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't put these pads on. But then we had a guy up in there, and I was like, look, I'm not going to go into detail what's wrong with these pants, but you can put 2 and 2 together. I just need another pair. He got me another pair. I was like, because I'm just not having a meltdown. I'm a hemophobic when it comes to blood, whether it's dry, not dry. I'm like,
Yeah. No, like I'm real weird with like clothes, like clean clothes. Like I'm actually doing laundry right now. Like I won't wear something twice in a row. Like if I wear a shirt, like I won't wear it again. I have to wash it before I wear it again.
Sorry, this is not fair. This is not fair. We have to only look at Amy. Her facial expressions and shit. Oh, God.
Did Letecia just say she's a hemophiliac? Is that what she said?
I don't know. I can't stop staring at Amy. Sorry.
It's bad, y'all. It's so bad. Oh no, she's hemophobic. She said hemophobic.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But she's a fucking vampire. How does that work? Oh my God. Also,
Okay.
every time I see this, when she's in her living room or whatever, there's this one sconce on the wall, but you can only see the one. And now I imagine that there's probably one on the other side of the couch, but the symmetry, especially being located directly next to a lamp, is really bad for me. It just drives me super nuts. All right, here we go, you guys.
Okay.
Like Taylor will wear the same shirt like 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? I guess men are different though. I don't know.
I made my silly go clean up her. I said, "You go get the bird.
Oh
You go
yeah.
get this. You go get this." When I get back, I'm every good.
How's she doing?
She's good. She's good.
Good. I was thinking about it last night. I tried looking her up. I tried looking up her last name online, but I couldn't find her in the system. Do you know how she spells her last name?
All I know is Wood Wilson is all I know.
Okay, yeah, because I tried.
Wilson.
Yeah, I tried looking up like different variations of it. I couldn't find it yet, so I don't know if it's like not in the system yet or what. But
Oh no, she's in the system.
huh?
I'll just have to ask her because she might spell it different or something.
Yeah.
Or she could work for the police. Who knows?
Oh no, not another one of those situations.
Yeah. Oh, so that girl never came back, which we knew she would.
Yeah.
Obviously, because But then this other lady came in and she was like, "I know who she is," and I was like, "Well, we haven't found anyone else." And she's like, "She's a nobody." She's like, "She's doing that thing where she gets try to get 3 people in trouble for drugs or something so she can get out of trouble or something."
Oh, like oh my gosh, like a confidential informant thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I was like, well, she was in the wrong cell when she was trying to get somebody with drugs, so maybe that's why she was hanging out with all y'all.
Yeah. Well, it's good they figured that out. Oh my gosh, oh that's what I was gonna tell you. So school started yesterday. So this morning, we live too close to the school, so my daughter can't ride the bus, so I gotta take her in the morning. So this morning we get up, I take her to school, I drop her off. So my car is like it's terrible, it's a horrible on gas, it's just awful. So I'm like, well, if I don't get gas now, by the time I go to pick her up today and I'm waiting in line, like I'm gonna run out of gas. So I took my youngest daughter to the gas station with me this morning. We got gas. She was saying something about wanting a cinnamon roll. So I was like, well, let's go inside. We'll get like a cinnamon roll for breakfast, whatever. So on our way out, like we're walking out of Circle K and they have like these big red like cement pillar things, you know, where like the parking is up front. There's this like little old lady driving this little white truck. She goes to pull into the parking space, like doesn't slow down and doesn't hit her brakes. It just full on hits that cement pole. Like it's not funny. It's not funny. But it was like literally right in front of me and my youngest daughter. Like it was loud too. It was like crunch. The whole bumper of her truck just like crushed up. She put a dent in the cement pillar. Yeah, and I don't think it was her truck because her window was down, and all I see was her like she goes, "Damn it!" So I looked at her. I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, have a good day." I kept walking. That's like 8:00 in the morning. I was just like, "Wow, what a way to start the day."
This lady one time at McDonald's done something like that, and when she did, she just kept going forward, and trying to go to thing that she couldn't figure it out, and went back. Next thing you know, she just boom hit the side of my Maximum.
Oh no!
She goes, "Oh dear God, Mom's about to go crazy." I took a deep breath. I get out the car, so she tries to back up and leave, and I was standing in the middle of the road. I was like, "Pull back in there."
Oh no! So she was gonna try to leave.
I was gonna jump on top of the car.
I don't blame you. Shoot.
It was just like, I said, "Hold on, you gotta let me assess the damage." And she had made some scratches or something. She was like, "What can I do for you?" I was like, "You can first start fixing the scratches, and then we can call it even."
Yeah.
And she got out her checkbook. And I was sitting there thinking, well, I hope her check's legit, and it was.
Yeah.
I was like, "Bob, you were gonna let the lady leave McDonald's?" No.
Oh, that reminds me. We went to the Dunkin' Donuts in Fayetteville, so this would have been probably like 3 or 4 months ago. And Taylor was driving his car, and we were talking about the fact that like he hasn't been in any accidents lately or hasn't gotten pulled over. And I made a comment about like today's gonna be your lucky day, like you might get rear-ended. And he's like, "Don't talk like that." So we go to Dunkin' Donuts and we're in the drive-thru, we're placing our order, and all of a sudden we feel like a little in the back end. He got
rear-ended. You know what McDonald's I was at too? I was at that McDonald's right there in Daytona Beach.
Oh,
Get off the exit.
yeah. As a matter of fact, Taylor used to work. That was his first job. He worked at that McDonald's when he was like 16.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. I was in the road. Like, she ain't going nowhere. She about to hit me.
Well, when we got hit at Dunkin' Donuts, like the girl behind us, I mean, she wasn't going that fast, you know, because it's the drive-through. But Taylor was just like, so I got out, because I was in the passenger seat, so I got out to go look at the damage. And it was like some like 18-year-old girl driving the car behind us. And she put like a scuff on like the back of his bumper because he drives one of the new Explorers. And she was in like a little Lincoln. So she busted all the clips on her bumper. So like half the bumper of her car is like kind of hanging off. And I forget what I said to her. Oh no, she said something to me first. She's like, I don't even know why you're getting out. I didn't hit you hard enough to cause any damage. I looked at her and I was like, you might want to get out and look at your car then. But
because Florida has that thing where if you hit somebody in the parking lot, it's your own insurance.
Yeah.
They changed that law, but it was like that, and that's why I was like, this lady ain't going anywhere from McDonald's.
Yeah, no. Yeah, man, people in Florida, they don't know how to drive.
Well, you get a lot of people from up north, and then they're driving like maniacs. I mean, you know how like you ever drove on the turnpike?
Yep.
Them suckers are going like 120, shoom, shoom, and then you got this little car going like 60.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're on the turnpike. You're about to literally get ran over.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the people that don't know about the toll roads in Florida, and then they just be all slow, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? They swerving lanes across. I'm like, just go. They'll send you a ticket in the mail. Just go.
Yeah. Well, see, like, I'm from way up north. So, like, you know, speed limits up there, like, on, I guess, not like highway roads, like, you know, main roads, like 45, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Florida, Taylor was like, oh, everyone in Florida drives fast, like speed limits like 70, 80, like everywhere. I didn't believe him until I moved there. And I was like, it took me some getting used to, because I'd be on 95 headed to Ormond Beach from Daytona to go to work. Yeah. Go with like 70, everybody's doing like 100 past me.
Yes. And the roads, I feel like I've been working in Jacksonville forever.
Yeah.
They've been working on that bridge in Jacksonville 95 forever.
Yep.
People be going through there rolling. I'm like, holy smacks, because they rerouted it, and I'm like, I was basically on 2 wheels routed. Was her visit gone? I talked to your visit early. Was your visit gone? Because he was there. I told him, was your visit gone? Okay. All right, well, I told her visit was here, but she left.
Oh, is she looking back?
I'm trying to tell her,
Well, no, I think there's still
just that like she didn't hear nothing I was saying, and her dude was still there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it the lady that just walked up the stairs?
Yeah, I was trying to tell her. I was like, hey, I went on the phone call like you told me to, and told him to wait.
Yeah. There she comes.
And I was trying to get shot like she was ill, so maybe her attorney visit wasn't good.
Oh no. Oh yeah, maybe something like that happened. I didn't think about that.
Anyway, she ain't in no hurry, so.
But no, I was gonna say, I think they're still doing construction out there in Jacksonville, still in that area.
Crazy.
And then there's that thing, I can't think of what it's called. They're building it. It's in Daytona Beach. They started constructing it like a bazillion years ago, and it's still not finished. I can't think of what it's called. I wish Taylor was here because he could tell me the name of it. It's some like real big.
Daytona Beach?
Yeah, it's like a real big, tall glass building. Like it's all.
Oh, because I remember they stopped construction on it because something went wrong with the buyer, the person, and it's there forever.
Yeah.
The same building. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still, as far as I know. I mean, I haven't been out in that area for a while. But as far as I know, like they still finished it. Like it's still just sitting there, like half constructed.
Yeah. They finally put those new outlets right there. Those were nice.
Yeah, about the is it Tandra outlets on 95?
Yeah, the new Tinker outlets.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one time the G was out, the light, like a light that says Tandra outlet, the Tandra outlet, the G was out. So, you know, that's his real name. He's like, oh, see, look, it's my outlet. It's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, because the mall sucks, so they needed something there.
Yeah. I used to take my oldest daughter to the mall in Daytona Beach when Taylor was in basic training, but it's not, from what I remember, it's not that great. They don't have a lot of good stores there.
I told him he was over here waiting on you. On this, you're the person. You don't do that. Yeah. Oh, he was just there. Not she only stopped.
I'll say she kind of seems like she's not really paying attention, or you know.
I'm like, hello.
Oh man, some people, I don't know.
I deal with these things.
Yeah, maybe she's just not fully awake or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
But I was gonna say, have you talked to Harley at all lately? How's she doing?
She's good. She said this girl, she got a nail in one tire. They had to pay $200 per tire. Then like Lear just got another one. And she's like, Mom, I don't understand where I'm just driving to school.
Yeah.
So somewhere she's driving by going to school or something. Bunch of nails.
Yeah, and tires are expensive.
Because she's having to buy tires.
Yeah, and they're not cheap too. What kind of does she have? Like a newer car? Because I feel like the newer cars have the tires are like stupid expensive.
Yeah, and Brenda, you know how she is, but she was just like trying to tell everybody she's paying for Harley's school, and Harley's like, what is she talking about? She's not paying for my school. So I get on the phone and Brenda, I'm like, hey Brenda, how much was it? How much was on your credit card? Because on Harley's bank statement, because I get the statement, I said on Harley's bank statement, it's showing her paying out of the account. But she's like, oh, well, maybe it didn't process. And I'm sitting there like, you know it didn't process because she didn't pay for it. Stop telling people you're paying for it.
Yeah, why would she be telling people she's paying for it?
She has some problem. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Or she just be telling people she has to be in control of something. And she has to be saying she does that. She means well. She's just stuck in the old times. She thinks that school, she was like, they're ripping her off at Coastal. Because UNC Pembroke on the Coastal. Well, first of all, UNC Pembroke is an NC ready school.
Yeah.
So they got those grants because the Native American grants and stuff like that, so they can give tuition for a certain price. In-state and out-state is the same as long as they got that grant.
Yeah.
It's a cheap one. And I said that's why it's an NC ready school. But she's not understanding that. She's thinking that Coastal is just out of ripping her off.
Well, and I'm sure like tuition and stuff's probably gone up over the years too. You know.
It went out.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Try now. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sure tuition has gone up over the years too. That probably has something to do with it.
Harley did that thing. She was like, she did a study. I mean, she did a thing offline that showed the tuition had increased by over 100% since year 2000.
Oh God.
Because she was sitting there talking about when she went to college, and I was like, well, who went to college? And she was talking about her. I said, ain't probably don't have a college degree. She has associates. What college is she talking about?
Yeah. I haven't.
Then she was trying to tell her about when I went. First of all, y'all ain't paid nothing when I went to school because I paid it myself. So I'm just sort of like, she's just delusional. When she's in her delusional mind, just let her talk and agree with it and go on.
Yeah.
She's truly like delusional. I think she has delusional disorder.
She might, like, I can't think of the name of it. Not like dissociative disorder, but I can't think of the name of it. But she might.
Well, she like thinks it's true, and like her way of thinking of that is not going to change. Like to her, she's really doing that. I don't think she's setting out saying it just to be saying it, to be facetious or something. I think she truly thinks this in her head because she's been that consistent for years like that.
Yeah, she reminds me, like, every time that I've talked with her, she reminds me so much of my grandma. So, like, it's easy to talk to her because it's like just talking to my grandma, you know, because my grandma's the exact same way.
Yeah, like she means well and would do anything for you. She just creates these delusions in her head and you just be like, what are you talking about? Not like delusions like environmental, like sometimes when I go crazy because of situations or something. I'm talking about hers is like she believes them and lives life like that. She thinks it's really going on.
Yeah. my grandma's the same way. My biological mom is actually a lot like that too, but her and we don't talk at all. I don't even know the last time I talked to her, like 2 or 3 years ago. She's nuts. Oh. I'll have to fill you in.
I was like, you need to have medicine for that. Because I used to tell her when she was little, when I was little, she was delusional. She would be like, you remember that time, something. She has memories, but then she would talk about somebody that didn't even exist in that time frame. And I'd be like, that person was not even in that time frame. Like, what are you talking about? You're like 30 years off.
Has she had like any kind of like traumatic brain injuries or anything in her life that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like they did on a motorcycle one time.
Oh yeah, because if that's the case, that might have something to do with why she gets that way.
Yeah. And you just have to go along with it. You sit there like, and then Kayla was telling me that my dad was saying something like that. He was way off on years, and I was sitting there like, oh God, don't tell me it's happening to my dad too.
Oh no.
I'm like, his might just be wrong on the years. I don't think his is delusional, but because he was trying to say I stayed with him at 14. Man, I never said my dad at 14. I'm like, where are you at? I don't remember this.
So was because I know when I texted her, she said she didn't think she'd be able to.
It went out again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Try again. What'd you say?
Also, was Caitlin able to meet up with him? Because I know when I texted her, she said she didn't.
Yeah, she was.
Okay, cool, good.
Yeah, and he was telling her I lived with him at 14. I'm like, no.
That never happened.
No, I did not. My brother was born when I was 14, and I have vivid memories of taking care of my little brother while my mom was at work.
Yeah.
And on where Amy lives, my stepsister Amy lives now.
Yeah.
I didn't go to my dad's house until I was like, I don't know, almost 17. No, I was actually 17. And I started dating Chance, and I left the day I turned 18 from my dad's house.
Oh.
So I was sitting there like, you're not, never been my dad. This is weird. You're not trying to be my dad now at 17.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
your Chance left out of place the day I turned 18.
Yeah, so your dad was off by a couple of years.
Yeah, he was way off. Yeah.
But I mean,
because he was telling her like, oh yeah, I remember that the situation with the stepdad, because she said that my dad said that he remembered the situation, he just had the dates wrong. Like he was thinking it was when I was 17, and I was like, no, he's got it backwards. It was 14 when that happened, but 17 when I came to live with you or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember that because we talked about it and at that time long ago.
Okay, I forgot about this part. So, for whatever reason, this video visit was allowed to go on for 38 minutes. Okay. Now, this next half of the video visit, when they start talking about Letecia's family, it could potentially be triggering for people because there's some things that they talk about. I just want to give you guys a heads up that it's coming. There's a trigger warning. So it has to do with Letecia's childhood and some abuse that she says that she suffered. So did you have something you wanted to say, babe?
No, I'm glad that you gave a trigger warning, but Jen has told me about this visit. I haven't seen it yet, so I've really been looking forward to seeing it because we haven't got to hear a lot of we've got that phone call about the family, but not really too much. Like we've listened to a lot of shit with all of these people, and there hasn't been a lot of that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay. So I just can't remember exactly when it comes up, and because it's been a minute since I edited these videos. So yeah, but just so you know, it's coming up at some point in this next, because the first call was like 38 minutes, which is technically, well, each call is really only supposed to be 15 video visits. So that's 2.5 video visits essentially. I don't know why it happened this way, but this is the way it was. So just hang tight and yeah, go ahead, babe.
And remember that the reason why this is important is because this is part of her defense, so that's all.
Correct.
And I just want to say, Aunt Cray, thank you for looking out for me. I appreciate that so much, Cray. I really do.
Okay. Aww. I also want to remind go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say she was worried about me outside because yeah, that's all. But go ahead. Keep going.
Because of Bigfoot?
No, there's a fox out there that's been coming every night, and it like barks at me in the driveway. I put it in the chat like while we were watching the video. Visit, here it came again. It will come up like 15,
Wait a minute.
20. I got pictures of it and bark.
Okay, so when that song comes on, what does a fox say? It doesn't say it barks. Foxes
Yes.
bark.
Hell
Oh.
yes, they bark like a dog. It sounds like a mean ass chihuahua or something. I'll send you a
Not a
video.
chihuahua. Okay.
At first, before I could see it, I was like looking on YouTube and I found a video of a fox doing that exact thing. But now I've got a picture of this sucker, so I know what it is. But yeah, they bark like it sounds
Aww.
like a
Is he
mean
hurt?
little dog, but mean, like a mean one.
I'm sorry,
don't think
everybody,
so.
for this sidebar. I know the live chat knows all about our sidebar, but people on the replay, I apologize, but
Yeah.
sometimes things
Sorry.
come up and they need to be discussed, like that foxes bark.
They do. Yes.
I didn't know that. Does it need help, maybe? Now I'm worried.
So.
I'm going to
don't
Google
know.
some stuff while we're listening to this, because
Okay.
now I'm worried. Poor little
Okay.
fox. It's not saying, why the fuck would it say that? All right, here we go.
Okay.
He was like, well, she told me, begged me not to do anything to him because I was going to go hurt him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. Do you think he would have? Like,
If it wouldn't have been him, it probably would have been someone like in the family, sure.
yeah.
Because my dad was gangster. He was a Purple Heart recipient and got his leg shot off in a war and everything.
Oh, wow.
So he hung with some of those dudes that would be like almost like a veteran biker gang type thing.
Yeah.
They didn't hurt people or go around and do anything wrong unless you hurt somebody, you know what I mean, type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's still like, I mean, I feel really bad that he had to go through that because that's not something I've ever experienced. So, like, my biological mom went through that when she was probably like 12 or 13 when she went through that. And I saw, like, what it did to her, when I was growing up with her. So it's part of
the
the
girl was talking about in Bible study. She had been through a similar experience. And she was asking me questions about heaven. And she was thinking that there was different levels of heaven. And I'm sitting there like, Anyway, she said, well, my stepdad's going to be in my level of heaven when he's in my toilet. I shit on him every day. We're in the middle of Bible study. And I'm like, okay. So I'm running the Bible studies.
Oh, that's cool.
So I had to like take a deep breath. And what's Silly doing? Girl, I'm about to. Okay. I thought she about to fight somebody, but she was running. Anyway, so I had to take a deep breath and wait for the Holy Spirit to make sure He's giving me the right answer. Explain to her that she still had a lot of anger in her heart. She was like, well, you're talking about it and whatever, and it's not making you angry more. I said, right. I said, but over the last 2 or 3 years, even when I started having that, when I sent that message and I was having the visions and those PTSD that I died again,
Yeah.
I was reliving that again. And I think that was through my process of trying to like learn to start forgiving.
Yeah.
Because I keep having dreams about it, and every time in my dream, he's there, or it's a house that we grew up in, but it'll be like you guys there, like people here today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's still there. And so, like, I kept having those nightmares, and it would get worse. And I was, like, waking up, like, claw marks on my body, like, like those type of things. And I could never get it out of my head. And I had to figure out that I hadn't truly forgave him.
Yeah.
And so now that I took that approach with Jesus, because, like, I'd forgiven, I said, but I really hadn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I was to the point where I was having nightmares, but I didn't know if it was really that day again or not. Was I supposed to be happy again because he was gone? Or was I, I really didn't even know that I was really in that time frame until Lena came in and asked me for prayer that day. And I was like, I thought I was doing that same day that he had died.
Really?
Yes. It was crazy because, like, I kept, a couple nights before, I kept being like, waking up like, oh, thinking that I was in the same house and like living in that house. And everywhere, like, it would be like, I've been and we got in the house. I was at this house, and the house
It's the getting out or not getting out, Global Tel Link. It's their system. It's not me, I promise. I'm sorry, you guys. This is the important part, and this is what's happening. Ridiculous. Sorry.
Went over him, but he had already been run over and was dead. My stepdad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he got hit by a car and died. So in my mind, I kept saying he's not here for him again. You know what I mean? I kept battling with that back and forth, and I figured it out. It was just because I just didn't have that forgiveness for him.
Yeah.
So it's just like there, like a PTSD moment, just like constantly, like, and then I wouldn't know if I was really awake or not. You know.
But you know, it's hard because like I struggle the same thing with my mom. Like I've said I've forgiven her, but I know deep down that I've not actually forgiven her. But it's hard to be able to forgive somebody who's hurt you so badly, you know.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I mean I don't know, like what's your opinion on like how do I gotta word it? Do you think that you'll ever get to a point where you like ever will truly forgive him for what you did?
I think through this process I have, because I've been teaching these other ladies about forgiveness as a leader, and like going through their trauma, because what I want is someone not to deal with the trauma the way I've dealt with it.
Yeah.
When you get in a situation where you need to make a choice, that's the right choice. You can't make the right choice because you have so much things that happened to you in the past, or you can't call police because in your life, when you call police, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because your mom would beat you, or your stepdad would beat you, or like that type of thing. So I wanted people to like be able to deal with that, to have a better understanding of how to deal. Excuse me, I just want my, are they going down here? Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. I just have to take it out because I was making stuff in it. Sorry, I had to run the guy caught down. Like, oh, don't go without my meds.
Oh, very good.
Probably walking around here like, but anyway, so as I've been working with them, I've been learning more about, like, I truly hadn't 100% forgave. That's why all that. So now I've been dreaming. Could take the nightmare meds now, but I've been dreaming now about this house, but he's not in this house anymore.
Good.
So, and like we've been, you know, I think our group's up. Yesterday we only had 10 people come to our group, but it's usually 10 to 15. And we've been like going to prayer about this and trauma and things like that. And I think the more I do that, some of those parts are being removed from my brain, and it's true forgiveness. Because in order to enter into heaven, you got to give that person that same grace that you wish God would give you for.
Right.
Because I know firsthand that being in a traumatic situation, after being in so many for years, you don't always make the right choice. You can't always make, because you flash back to those moments.
Yeah.
And you always be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
And you add in getting sexually assaulted during this time frame by people that you thought were your friends, that triggers you back too, and then brings back those moments from my stepdad.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I wasn't really sure if he was really doing, because he would try to get me to do it to my little sister.
Like,
and so
he would try to get you to assault her?
Well, yeah, there was never any penetration, you know, with my stepdad. It was just all, you know, without me saying it on here.
Yeah.
He would want me to do the same thing to my little sister Julie. And so like, Julie was 7. I know. And so I'd always be like, that's not right, because I would think that I knew that wasn't right in my head. But then I have nightmares of him making me do that and me doing it.
Yeah.
In the nightmares, and they would get worse like over time.
Man, that almost made me like, I'm really empathetic person. Like that made me almost like tear up. Like it's so. I'm sorry you had to go through all that.
Well, I've learned not to be upset about like I used to be, because I've had to like give it all to God, and like wherever he's at, whether he gave his life to the Lord or whatever before that car hit him, I don't know. That's not for me to judge.
Yeah.
The girl asked me that in the meeting. She was like, well, what about people who go around mass murder? And I was like, that's not for us to judge that, because we don't know if they gave their heart. I said, we know that the criminal on the cross gave his heart before he died. I said, well, we don't know that.
Yeah.
I said, we know that Paul tells us that the Lord left that thorn in his flesh because his grace is sufficient. And there's no sense of partiality. They're all the same. I said, we have to keep that in our mind. And I said, that took me 100% knowing that before I was able to forgive him. And as I true forgiveness, I don't feel it anymore in these nightmares like I did.
Yeah.
Because I was having anyone coach me, like different things. That's why that's just the way it would be.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of sends back to like you still like having like flashbacks, like PTSD, because that stuff will give you PTSD.
And I weren't allowed to call the cops on him because keep us closed. You know what I'm saying? Or mom had to always cover up everything because she always did. That's what she did for me. She covered up everything for me. And all the in her life, she always made it. She covered up. Greg was out the windows. Always okay. No, that's not normal.
Yes, okay. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
All right. Just bored.
I get that. Like, I don't know why I slept good last night, but I woke up like so tired. I tried to do my hair, it didn't work out. And I tried to do my makeup, it didn't work out because my eyes wouldn't quit watering. So like as I'm putting on.
Sorry, you guys. I meant to pause, but I went out and had a cigarette because it was good. She is too much for me. Okay, so what I want to explain is this. September is a huge month on the road to the insanity plea. This is when Letecia is scheduled to have another evaluation, a mental health evaluation, a competency to stand trial. Okay, and in between May, when Tellini was appointed as her attorney, and September, there was a lot of back and forth between Tellini and the state over recording of the mental health evaluation, because as protocol, the state records mental health evaluations, video records. And so, but they didn't want that, but the state or the defense didn't want her recorded. There was a lot of back and forth. Also, I started watching this show called The Crowded Room. It's based on Billy Milligan's story. There's a documentary on Netflix about him. And he is someone that was diagnosed as having then, because it was in the 70s, multiple personality disorder. We call it dissociative identity disorder now. And I think this is my personal thought, okay? I think that what Letecia did while she was in the law library is, I think she looked up different defenses. And I think that how she settled on dissociative identity disorder is, it's highly controversial, number one. It's incredibly difficult to prove and disprove at the same time, especially if it's legitimate. It's very complicated. But one underlying theme in dissociative identity disorder that psychiatrists agree on is that the person who has dissociative identity disorder has undergone severe abuse, and it's usually SA, okay? And so it's my belief, I don't know what happened to Letecia, and the problem is that she's another one like Gypsy, who if they had a relationship status with the truth, it's complicated. She has a very complicated relationship with the truth. And so it's difficult to discern when she's telling the truth and when she is lying. And while I am normally inclined to believe victims until there's a reason for me not to, it's difficult with Letecia. But I personally think that this is why she's telling these stories at this time to Amy. It's not really for Amy's benefit. It's actually for the DA. She knows that these are things that can be used in her trial. She's very cognizant of it. And it's, in my opinion, it is intentional. And the only doctor that believes in that diagnosis for Letecia is Dr. Lewis, right? That's what you're saying, because like there are other psychiatrists that believe in it, but it is a controversial diagnosis. Not all psychiatrists believe that it's an actual thing.
Yeah, there are some that believe it doesn't exist at all. But you're right. They think that it comes from severe trauma, and your brain basically protecting you from that trauma creates a new identity and almost stores those memories with that, or with your original self. It's a whole thing. It's very interesting, though. I've looked into it pretty deeply long before this case, so it's been a long time before I did. But yeah, I think you nailed it. That's exactly what she's doing. We've listened to her all along the way say shit for the DA. That's like actually I'd say that's like 75% of the reason that she makes the calls she makes. It's all about her. She's so self-serving. But the thing is, Jen, that makes me sad is like, I'm one of those women. Look, I know women lie. Don't get me wrong. And I have young men. So the day that somebody falsely accuses them of something, like I'm going to be ready to kick somebody's ass for sure.
Yeah.
But I try to believe all women. Like that is because it's the only thing you can do, unless there is like some kind of circumstances that make you like this be like, I don't know. I mean, you've only lied about it about, many other people. So,
right.
But yeah, it's hard with Tisha because it's like if this is true, it's, I'm not happy it happened to her, but how could we ever know? And I don't know. It just makes me sad because I don't ever want to be the kind of person who's like, I'm not going to believe you when you say that this happened to you. But with her, how can you not?
It's difficult with Letecia, and I agree with you, Allie. I'm a mom first. I had my boys first, and then I had my girls after the boys. Obviously, if I had my boys first, duh. But anyway, it's hard when they get to be, you have to have conversations with them all the way, when as they are growing up. And obviously the conversations are different as they get older from when they were younger, but it's not always easy, but I think that with Letecia specifically, it's difficult. And to Patricia's point that something caused her to become a killer. I would agree there, but there are also people that look at Chris Watts. There isn't anything in his childhood that would indicate he would do what he ended up doing. So yeah. I think that it's an interesting discussion, and we should have a discussion about nature versus nurture sometime. And I'll see if I can get Dr. B to come in on it, because she is fascinated with that subject too, and she knows so much about it. But like with Letecia, it's hard. And
so Bendy, on this one, we're just gonna see Letecia the whole time now.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Lord, am I? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what happened in the month of September with with the Global Tel link, but it's clearly something. Something is up, and yeah. And as far as like with Cindy Watts.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was wondering if you were going to touch that.
So
a couple of them.
The thing about Cindy is she is highly, she lives in an heightened state of denial, you know, and I think a lot of that denial is fed by Chris himself. I think Chris will never, all Cindy needs is closure. And I think that, and what her one thing that she said repeatedly is if Chris would tell her what happened, she would believe it, right? But I'm not even so sure that would happen. I think that there's a level, clearly a level of dysfunction there. But is that level of dysfunction, was it such that it caused Chris to become what he was, or because Chris Watts, it seemed like he snapped, which is something completely different. Do you know what I mean? And I do think it's an interesting thing to talk about. And I don't, because I wasn't prepared to talk about it tonight, I feel like we should just put a pin in it. And I'm going to consult with Dr. B and make her come up here and talk about it with us so that, yeah.
Sounds like a plan. And she could even talk about these particular people we're talking about. Letecia, Watts, she knows those
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, and if I had to guess about people like Letecia and Chris, although because they killed their child, at the end of the day, that Letecia was responsible for the day-to-day of Gannon's taking care of Gannon, fulfilling his day-to-day needs. So she is a parent. And when a parent murders their child or a child, their stepchild in this case, right? And then for Chris, his own children, there's a lot of different moving parts in that scenario as well. And I don't really know how, if it is a situational thing or what. So I don't want to completely speculate on it, but I think that for purposes of this argument, I frankly think that Letecia is using some of these things, is saying some of the things that she's saying because she's working on her defense, because she has to show a history of trauma. And so, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Hey, Melissa Jade.
Hey, MJ, what you doing, girl? All right.
Now we get to watch Tisha. Okay.
Correct. And as you can see, let me move this. This general vicinity, it's a different eyebrow this time, is missing. Last couple of months ago, it was this eyebrow. Now it's this eyebrow, right? Am I right, Allie? I can't remember. I'm just glad to see she's not wearing her face mask as a headband.
No, I think you are right. And now it's the right one, right?
She can't.
They both look jacked up to me.
They both do look jacked up, but you can, if I put it on the bigger screen, you can see a little more brow in this general vicinity where there's significantly less over here. Ladies, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Okay, so if you're trying to get them to look exactly the same, we all know that it won't happen. So you just try to get them as close as you can, or you're going to end up missing part of your damn eyebrow, right, Letecia?
Well, they should still be in the same family. I mean, they and hers are never even related ever.
No.
One usually looks one way, one.
Tisha's eyebrows are not sisters. They ain't cousins. They from a whole different family. Practically damn strangers.
You're laughing. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Practically damn strangers. I wasn't ready for that. Okay. Let's go.
Okay, here we go, y'all.
on the mascara, it's like all running down my eyes. So I'm like, I give up.
And how you got on jeans today?
I'm like, I don't know why, I'm always cold. Like, it could be 90 degrees outside, and I'm always wearing, like, long jeans. I get my feet warm in my car. I'm always cold. I don't know why.
I'm always cold too, but not that bad.
My feet are always, like, ice cubes.
Yes.
My hands are, like, so cold. So, like, I try to keep the temperature in our house, like, between 68 and 72, just depends.
Yeah.
And there's some days I, like, crank it up to, like, 74, and then the girls will be like, I'm hot. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Not everybody's as cold as I am.
I know. Oh, how are my nieces?
They're doing good. That cracks me up. Oh my gosh, I got a good laugh out of that yesterday. I told my sister about that. She thought it was funny.
You caught that too, did you, Allie? Isn't that crazy? How are my nieces?
She's so manipulative, Jen. Oh my God.
So manipulative. And this, this reminded me of a question that I started to answer in chat and then I got sidetracked. The question was, when did Amy turn on Letecia? I don't know that she actually ever has, if I'm being completely honest. I really don't.
Hey, she could still be the one telling her, all the things happening on YouTube about her and stuff because we've heard her doing it in the calls before. Oh,
Absolutely.
I watched this show about you. I went in here.
Yes.
We know that she came into Kits and was like, why are you donating to Landon? That should go to Harley. So she's obviously watching.
Yep. I don't know if she still is. I honestly believe that it's more likely than not that she still is because she was in so deep. It's very, very difficult to unstick yourself from that position. I feel like she's stuck there. I don't know. Maybe she's out of it now. Who knows? It's hard to tell, but whatever. All right. So here we go with more bullshit from Tisha.
Oh, they're doing good. They're downstairs because, my oldest started school last week.
Yeah.
So she had her first full week of school done. She's actually doing, like, really well. She's been given the job of being the homework helper and the bathroom chaperone. So she gets to help kids that are struggling with their homework, and then she gets to take kids to the bathroom and look back to class.
Oh, nice.
She was telling me last night that she's also the teacher assistant. So she's like, my teacher pulled up the desk by her desk, and she has me sit there with her, and she has me help, like, grade assignments to see if they're done right. I'm like, that's so cool. It's awesome. So I told them today, I'm like, you know what? It's Saturday, and we're just going to be, like, kind of lazy. So I let them get on the Nintendo Switch downstairs. So they're playing, I think, Minecraft right now.
Nice,
then,
nice.
Yeah, my friend, me and Taylor's friend, that's our kid's godfather, he texted me earlier, and he's like, you mind if him and his girlfriend and their friends come over later to play cards? I'm like, sure, I'm not doing anything.
Oh.
So,
Y'all gonna play spades?
yeah. I don't know yet. I don't know if we're going to do spades or blackjack or Cards Against Humanity because it always changes. I never know what we're going to play. So I told him, I was like, I'll just get all the decks of cards out, and then we can just pick when you guys get here, I guess.
Because I'll bring me and my partner soon, and we'll smoke y'all in spades.
You probably will, because I'm okay at it. I'm not that good. Taylor's pretty good at it, but I'm still kind of, like, learning.
Y'all play Joker, Joker, Ace?
I haven't played that in a long time. Like, probably since, like, 2011.
So y'all just play Ace High?
Honestly, the last time I played with them was sometime last year, like late last year. I really don't remember what we played. Yeah, we had them over. It was like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like right before Thanksgiving, so it's been a while. At first, when he texted me, I'm like, I don't know if there are all these people over today. But I'm like, yeah, they haven't been over in Saturday, so I might as well.
Yeah.
Which means I gotta vacuum and dust real quick and go to the store and get like a party tray or something that way we have something to snack on while we play. But
Yeah.
I gotta find out on my card day.
I got you.
What are your plans for today?
I was just telling them some crazy stories about CJC. Everybody was asking me some crazy stories because there's a lady over there naked singing Barney. And they were like talking. It shocked them because she was naked. I was like, look, I've seen that forever. So we were just talking about some stories. I told them about the one time with the crazy roommate with the drugs and how she was taking a mattress and trying to rip it and put it in there as a jacket, saying that was her jacket and all kinds of stuff. I was telling about a girl that stood on the exercise machine. Girl that put poop all on the wall.
Oh my gosh, that would be like not like I don't know how I would handle that. It'd be one of those situations where I would just probably look and
Bendy.
not really
Yeah.
know what to say.
The girl that showed me all her
I just have to
Allie.
say the way the way that she looked at the camera when she's like talking about and whatever and the poop on the wall, and she looks like I'm sure she never imagined that we would get the jail file and see that not only was she throwing shit on other inmates, literal shit out of the toilet, but she was, painting murals on the wall with her own blood with no visible wounds and, all kinds of stuff like that. And she's sitting here trying to act like everybody else is that, oh God, Tisha, girl, that's you. That is
Right?
you.
Also, you guys care in the chat. Let me ask you guys this. Put a 1 in the chat if you're okay with it. Put a 2 in the chat if you are not. And whichever number wins is whichever number has the most, that's what we'll do. 1 if it's okay, 2 if it's not. I want to go back to the part where Amy says that she's got the kids playing the Switch, because I'm very curious if Letecia reacted to that. So I am, and I'm curious if we should go back. Okay.
I'm fine with
I
whatever
see
y'all want.
ones. I see 1, 1, 1. Okay. I don't see any 2s yet, but I'll wait. Okay. So hold on. I'm trying to do it from this screen, from the StreamYard screen. Girl.
Hey, Leslie. Sorry. Hadn't seen you for a minute. Happy to see you. Well, I mean, not that long. We just talked about the watch book not long ago, but,
Yeah.
A lot of ones.
Okay. All right. So I'm backed it up. Here we go.
Oh, how are my nieces?
They're doing good. That cracked me up. Oh my gosh, I got a good laugh out of that yesterday. I told my sister about that. She thought it was funny too. Oh, they're doing good. They're downstairs because my oldest started school last week.
Yeah.
So she had her first full week of school done. She's actually doing like really well. She's been given the job of being the homework helper. And,
What did I miss it?
Really funny too. Oh, they're doing good. They're downstairs because my oldest started school last week.
Yeah.
So she had her first full week of school done. She's actually doing like really well. She's been given the job of being the homework helper and the bathroom chaperone. So she gets to help kids that are struggling with their homework, and then she gets to take kids to the bathroom and look back to class.
Oh, nice.
She was telling me last night that she's also the teacher's assistant. So she's like, my teacher pulled up the desk by her desk, and she has me sit there with her. She has me help like grade assignments to see if they're done right. I'm like, that's so cool. It's awesome. So I told him today, I'm like, you know what, it's Saturday, we're just going to be like kind of lazy. So I'll let them get on the Nintendo Switch downstairs. So they're playing, I think, Minecraft right now.
Nice,
then,
nice.
Yeah, my friend,
What do you guys think? Do you think she had a reaction? I saw a little tiny one, but it's very, very tiny. Almost a little bit of a...
just like the
I don't
word caught her
know.
attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
second.
Like she perked up at the word
Yeah.
of the Switch. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jen Lou's pause game on point. Look at here. Look at Leticia's face. She really looks like a monster now. But yeah, I need to see. I because there are some things, and I'm super irritated about that last video visit because Letecia is talking about the night that she called her supervisor at school. I'm going to go back and see what I can do about that audio again. It's easier if I do it in small, especially on CapCut. If I do it in a small segment, maybe I can mess with it in a smaller segment right there and get out of it what we need to get out of it. I'm going to try tomorrow. How's that sound? Okay. That's a deal. All right, here we go.
me and Taylor's friend, that's our kid's godfather, who texted me earlier.
We don't care about this.
You with them all day, every day.
Oh, hold
and
on.
then you only come out.
Hold on.
Remember, I was like, so much, but no, wow. We were just talking about some stories.
Store and get like a
Yeah.
I'm not like you mind it like kind
Oh,
of lazy,
forget it.
so get on the Nintendo Switch downstairs. So they're playing I think
Yeah.
Minecraft right now.
Nice,
And
nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
my friend,
Jim.
well,
Yes.
Me and Taylor's friend.
Yes,
our
what? Yes,
godfather
babe.
who texted me earlier. He's like, you
When
mind
she
if
says
him and his
switch,
girlfriend and their
Tisha's face, it almost goes blank for a second.
It does.
And
It's like
then-
she checked out for a second.
Yes, and then she does do like a deep breath right after that. She's like
Yeah.
right after. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Because I thought for a minute that I was just hallucinating. And I
No, you're
wasn't
not.
sure about that. Before I start again, I want to say this. I want to thank B Crumbs for gifting 5 memberships. Thanks, babe. If you got one from B Crumbs, thank her. Megsy, thank you very much for gifting memberships. Kez, who has been a member for 28 months, thank you. There's me. Welcome to Shauna thank you for becoming a member. And thank you, Chicken Shite, for gifting memberships. You guys thank these generous ladies. And I don't want to misgender. I can't remember if I know Megsy and B Crumbs are ladies. I don't want to just guess at Chicken Shite. That's presumptuous of me. Thank the lovely chicken. If you were the
Thank you,
recipient
guys.
of a membership from the chicken. All right, here we go.
friends come over later play cards. I'm like, sure, I'm not doing anything.
Oh,
So
y'all gonna play spades?
yeah. I don't know yet. I don't know if we're gonna do spades or blackjack or Cards Against Humanity or because it always changes. I never know what we're gonna play. So I told him I was like, I'll just get all the decks of cards out and then we can just pick when you guys get here, I guess.
Because I'll bring me and my partner soon, and we'll smoke y'all in spades.
You probably will because I'm okay at it. I'm not that good. Taylor's pretty good at it, but I'm still kind of like learning.
Y'all play Joker, Joker, Ace?
I haven't played that in a long time. Like probably since like 2011.
So y'all just play Ace High?
Honestly, the last time I played with them was sometime last year, like late last year. I really don't remember what time we played. Yeah, we had them over. It was like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like right before Thanksgiving. So it's been a while. So at first when he texted me, I'm like, oh no, there really not all these people over today. But I'm like, yeah, they haven't been over in forever, so might as well.
Yeah.
Which means I gotta vacuum and dust real quick and go to the store and get like a party tray or something. That way we have something to snack on while we play. But,
Yeah.
And I gotta find out all my card decks.
I got you.
What are your plans for today?
I was just telling them some crazy stories about CJC. Everybody was asking me some crazy stories because there's a lady over there naked singing Barney. And they were like talking. It shocked them because she was naked. I was like, look, I've seen that forever. So we were just talking about some stories. I told them about the one time with the crazy roommate with the drugs and how she was taking a mattress and trying to rip it and put it in there as a jacket, saying that was her jacket and all kinds of stuff. I was telling about a girl that stood on the exercise machine. Girl that put poop all on the wall.
Oh my gosh, that would be like not like I don't know how I would handle that. It'd be one of those situations where I would just probably look and not really know what to say.
The girl that showed me all her private parts and told me she was naked in the wild.
What the hell?
She's like, I'm not naked and afraid. I was like,
what did you say to that?
I would be in so much shock with the stuff over there in that other ward that I told you I struggle so much with knowing, like, is this really going on? Like, this can't be happening. Like, so.
How do they get away with doing that stuff though? Like,
if they're in the other ward, then they got some sort of psychosis. Remember, I was in there with everybody with psychosis,
yeah.
and then or they're just on something right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it makes you become so environmentally that way because you with them all day, every day, and then you only come out for that 1 hour, and you don't come out with people. It just your mind floats in that zone, you know.
In that ward, do they let them go outside?
No. I never went outside over there.
Do what?
I never went out. We never went outside over there.
I feel like that's a huge part of the problem because being outside for even like 20 or 30 minutes when it's sunny out, like,
Yeah.
that can really help improve mental health. But I don't know that whoever runs that place stops to think about that, you know?
Well, I know my vitamin D is got to be completely low right now because my skin is turning pink.
Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that there's not a lot of windows in there, like, you're not getting a lot of natural light,
Yeah.
of, you know, fluorescent lighting and stuff like that. That doesn't help.
And our windows are closed. And this work.
That would drive me nuts. Is it dark in there all the time?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they probably don't give you guys like vitamins, do they?
They can't even buy them on commissary.
It doesn't look dark to me. It looks bright as hell.
And I bet you they're on all the time.
I feel like vitamins can be.
Yes, and I like how Amy and Letecia both know all the things to do to make improvements to the jails. Like, come on.
I'm sure they don't turn those. I think they keep the lights on 24/7. I mean, I went to jail once for a couple of hours when I was like 20, when I was really young, and that's all. So I don't know.
I
never
think
made
it
to the back.
depends on where they have you. So I think when you're in like the pods, when you're going to be there a minute, I think it's different. But I do think that I think they go off, but I don't think it's ever like in your, like it is at your house. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's
Right.
always light,
Yeah.
like at a hospital,
Right. Yeah.
like that.
So
You
maybe
know what I
they dim
mean?
'em or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at her. She looks just shark eyes. Look how dark they are.
Oh God. Yes.
And
They are shark eyes.
and dull. Like there's no, I always think that there's that people with humanity and empathy and a soul, you know, they have a light to their eyes. And I think people use the word shark eyes because obviously sharks where they're at, there's no need for them to have really shiny. It's dark down there. But that's what her eyes, that's what a lot of, just dull, dead. She's dead eyes. I don't know what else to say. It's like just evil there.
Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
Maybe like, you know, like a requirement, like if you want to have them, you should be able to get them, but if you don't want to take them, you don't have to. And then, you know, more access outside, better access to like windows at least, you can get some more sunlight in there.
And I started getting all these, like, it happened to my grandma. So after she stopped being in the sun, she started getting these molds and they end up being cancerous. But I kid you not, she never had any of them or anything till she stopped being in the sun. So I'm not saying she got the skin cancer from the sun, but I think it just didn't really progress until later. And so she started getting these marks all on her body. And they were like moles. And like I've never had any of that stuff on my body. And it just started coming and my skin's turning pink. So I don't know if that's just from the deficiency of vitamin D or what, but.
And you probably can't, like, if you were requested to, like, have somebody medical look at you, they probably A, wouldn't do it, or B,
No, they won't. You would have to be, like, really sick. Like, even, like, having, like, female, like, we haven't had, like, they don't do female checkups here, and it's been 18 months I've been here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you don't get any kind of routine, like.
No.
That's not good. That's not healthy.
No. I mean, I told him about my overactive bladder and how it was causing so much pain in my stomach, and that's why it's important to keep my stomach meds on point. But then I went 3 weeks without them because they wouldn't renew them, and then they finally just renewed them, and I was like, I can't go 3 weeks without stomach meds. It just, it's just not possible. Like my digestive system. Well, cause see, one time I had a problem with my adrenal glands, and they were just saying like I was getting like stuff was going into my bloodstream,
Adrenaline
which
glands?
then causes a lot of like.
Yes, she's having problems with her adrenaline gland. You mean your adrenal glands, Letecia? Those glands, Dr. T?
Oh my God. Adrenaline glands.
Adrenaline gland. Tisha, you have all sorts of issues. It's a wonder, you know. I mean,
Stay
you
quiet
look.
on that one.
I mean, granted, you have them dead shark eyes, but the rest of you looks relatively healthy. So, you know, you have all these issues that seem that. What's interesting is none of them are diagnosed. None of them. Lord, she has all the things.
Like depression, and like you just don't feel like doing anything. And like you can't focus on anybody else around you. You can only focus on like the pain in your stomach, and you just constantly be depressed and anxiety about it. And then you kind of can get delusional too, and that's about your adrenal glands. And it's just from when your stomach gets all backed up from digestion and all that. But yeah.
And it's messed up because, you know, they'll say like they can't help everybody because they don't have enough staff or
Yeah.
they don't have enough resources. But like they should be equipped to handle that facility at like max capacity at all times, so that it shouldn't be your guys' problem. You know what I mean?
Oh no, they don't. This one girl beside me, I had to give her Tylenol because I had bought Tylenol off commissary. But she had a headache for at least 10 days and had not been out of her room, out of her bed, and medical just came this morning.
What are they gonna do for her? Probably just give her more Tylenol. And
Probably. She probably don't even get Gatorade. It's probably just Tylenol. And then she'll get charged her account for $10 plus the meds.
They charge you guys if they have to like give you like Tylenol or whatever, they charge you guys for it?
Oh yeah, you even get charged if you even put in a sick call.
So what happens if you don't have like the money on your account to pay for it?
They just put you in a negative, and then if you ever get money on your account, they just take that. Some people are in the negative like $400, $500.
They take money for everything. Like you know, they make profit off the phone calls.
And then if you see the doctor and you tell them about 2 issues, like you could say my stomach, and oh, by the way, can you renew my stomach, and can you, I don't know, I'm having a headache, can you give me something for my headache? That's $5 for each because you had 2 issues.
What's that? Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you would think that at least some like basic medical treatment there would be, I guess, not charged. They wouldn't charge you guys for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
But I don't know. I don't know. It seems like they charge like ridiculous. I mean, I know commissary stuff is expensive because I think wasn't it you that told me chapstick is like $4 or something like that?
Man, chapstick's 2 some, deodorant's 5. Just to get 1 pack of sugar is about 12 cents each.
Well, you're saving all that money not buying shampoo and conditioner or body soap, so you should be able to afford a lot of chapstick and deodorant that you're going to need since you're avoiding buying shampoo and conditioner and body soap. You nasty.
Like,
and it's probably not even like the good kind of deodorant, is it?
I don't know, just Power Up.
Oh, you can get that at like Walmart for like $1.
I don't know.
Oh man, they mark that stuff up, and then I know like whenever I put money on like my phone account, like I'll put like $20 on there, and then when I go to pay, they take like a percentage out, so they'll take like almost $4 out, and I'm like, why are you taking money out? Because like you get the money back when I use the phone calls. You know what I mean? Like it makes
they're ridiculous here. They were telling us the girl that's here, she's on a writ from prison because she had to testify and she's going back. She was like, you can get like a whole box of snacks for $1 compared to here. Or here you get 1 out of the box is $1.
Dang.
I was like, dang.
Do they have a limit, like commissary stuff? Do they have a limit of how much you can spend in like a day or a week?
Yeah. But it depends on the ward you're in.
Well, fantastic, Tisha. Looks like you have something to look forward to. Discount snacks while you're in prison.
Right. The more progressed you are, the more you can. So in this ward, it's 55. And then the ward before was 35. I don't spend that a week. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't seem like you can get very much with 55 from the commissary with how big the price.
No, I spend $40, and I literally get a bag of chips for the day, for each day, and then like a peanut butter bar or something like a snack, for the day.
Yeah.
And then what else do I get? Oh, if I order coffee, because it lasts me like a long time, I add that in there because the bag is $7.
How big is the bag?
3 ounces.
Size, like
3 ounces.
like
A little bit bigger. Yeah.
wow.
It's like dry freeze coffee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to do the all brewing because we don't have all that. And then the aspartame sugar for 100 packs is $7 and some. So that's like overpriced. And then a bag of Cheetos. Like if you got Cheetos, it'd be $1.86 for a small bag.
Okay, it's probably one of the little tiny ones
Yes.
you can get in like the vending machine.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
insane.
And so like if I'll get chips and I'll get a snack for every day. And then, like hygiene, whatever I need, toothpaste, whatever. And then batteries are $1.04 for each battery.
Hygiene minus
Oh my.
the whatever is her way of not wanting to discuss the fact that she doesn't purchase shampoo, conditioner, or body wash. Shut up, Tisha. We see you, whatever. You stank.
whatever.
Right. And here you are playing with that greasy hair, picking your nose.
God.
Don't try to play. Don't listen. I'm not going to have this argument with you, Tisha, between whether it's a pick or a scratch, Jerry Seinfeld, but because you're picking. Then you put your damn fingers in your mouth and you're biting your fingernails. You nasty. Ugh. I got no sense.
Yeah, watching her touch her hair and pick, and it makes me sick. Like I don't even like watching it. I'm really just kind of looking off into this nothing and listening.
I also enjoy how she's rattling off the prices for all these snacks. Meanwhile, telling poor Aunt B, who's worried sick about her,
she ain't
that
eaten 2
she
weeks.
ain't eaten 7 years. She's surviving on 2 drops of water a day and an eighth of a crust of bread.
Yeah, and Brenda's on there crying and everything. Like, damn, man.
Yeah. Brenda's feeling sorry for her, and this fucking heffalump, look at her.
Yeah.
And then Amy over here giggling at everything.
Oh my God. Yeah, like she's so excited. By the way, what you did on that emoji, yeah. I love
Which
it.
one?
The shut up Tisha one.
Oh.
I had to screenshot it and zoom in. I did that a little bit ago. And
what did I do? I don't even remember what I did.
You put something over Amy, like some kind of character. It's hard. It's kind of hard to see.
Oh.
You got their video visit, and then you have like a thing over Amy where it's
Roz.
like looks like
Roz.
Okay, yeah, it looks like with glasses. Like all I could see, it kind of looks like a banana with glasses or something. I don't know, but
it's Roz because Roz is a slug. Like she looks like a slug.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Forgot to fill out your paperwork. Yeah, here comes Amy. They should let you outside more, Tisha. Ugh.
I just thought it was funny. You had the character over her, Tisha, their video visit.
I forgot I did that.
And it says, "Shut up, Tisha."
Oh my gosh. I can't believe I did that.
I'm going to put them in the chat. You guys screenshot it and zoom in and look at it. It's so funny. But okay.
All right, here we go.
So, okay, how many batteries does your radio take?
So yeah, because if you want it to last all week, you need 4.
Yeah.
So
you can get like almost or 6 like an 8-pack at Walmart for the same prices that you spend on 4. Like,
I know.
That's ridiculous. And
these are just the AC Delco kind. They're very cheap. And this is the radio.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like a tiny little radio.
This costs $30.
In my mind, I was thinking it was like, I don't know why I was thinking it was going to be red and it was going to be like that big.
No. Got a clock.
Oh, wow. Do you get to keep it like in your room? With you?
Yeah. Oh gosh, if I didn't, I would not be sane.
Yeah.
And then we got these little headphones that are $6.
Hold on. Back the milk truck up there. Tisha, are you saying the radio keeps you sane? That you are, in fact, sane? Yeah, we all know.
That's a good catch. I heard her say if I did, I wouldn't be sane, but it didn't even click with me.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's right, Letecia. I'm on a high right now. You can't bring me down. And the D is fire. I can't stand Gypsy. All right, here we go. I did it. That's not a good one. Sometimes I need to hear Gypsy before I can do it good. But there you go. I'll try again later.
For the headphones. But if you get 4 batteries, that'll last you a week. Like, how long can you listen to your radio for? Like,
so for 2 batteries, you can get, depending on what brand they give you, you can get anywhere from 18 to 20 hours. But where I use most of mine is at when we go in these 24-hour lockdowns, I use like 6 hours of batteries easily.
Oh yeah.
Because there's nothing else to do.
I'd probably stock up on extra batteries just so I have them that way. Because if it were me, I'd have to plug my headphones in all day. Like
that's what I do.
Yeah.
And like this is the only way you can hear the TV too. So you put your headphones in and turn it to the receiver channel, and you can hear the TV.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, last night we watched wrestling because I love wrestling. So that was 2 hours right there. And then I watch Family Feud every day. That's an hour. Then I watch the Goldbergs. That's an hour. So you're talking about each day alone. That's just 4 hours and just TV shows. You know.
Yeah.
But go to Bachelorette.
And I guess it would have been like 5 your time, but I kept saying the same thing.
Yeah, that's another thing about this month, you guys, that they like to do is just cut it off. There's no it just ends.
Okay, and then it just starts like not even when they say hello too. That's weird.
Yeah, it just starts. I didn't do, all I did with these is because they come like each day each call is its individual file folder. So all I did was take them from the computer or, from downloads and put them into CapCut and add a transition. That's all I did.
Okay, so I got to read you the chat summary because it cracked me up. But I know Tisha says wrestling. Michelle said wrestling, but I got to say in West Virginia, a lot of people said it like that too. Like it wasn't until I was like 16, 17, 18 that I knew it was wrestling. Like, I don't know. It's like that was a country thing there. I'm not sure. I don't know what she's doing. But okay, you ready? Listen to this.
Yes.
It says viewers in the chat are sharing their thoughts and criticisms about Amy, including her hobbies, fashion, and including her hobbies, fashion, and personality.
Oh my God. I do like that idea about doing Tisha merch and then sending the proceeds to charity. I'm just not sure how I would do that, but I can look into it. And I did talk to my oldest daughter about whenever we hit the 10,000, so we can do a charity. And she told me a charity to look up. So I don't even know why I'm telling the story because I totally forgot the name of the charity. It has to do with what Olivia has been diagnosed with. But I'll ask her tomorrow and then I'll send it to you, Allie, and you can see if they participate because otherwise it's going to be St. Jude's.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I vote we do this one last call.
Mm-hmm.
That'll put us at an hour worth of calls. And then, or video visits. And then, what the hell is happening with the lighting up over in Letecia's land over here?
Oh,
this
my
looks
God,
like a whole ass filter.
It truly does look like the ring. Look at her face. This is like the
looks like she crawled right out of the well. Sup, Samara? 7 days you have.
And then Amy's like, deep breath, like she's so excited.
So look at her. Oh, I'm over. Is she and okay, I'm not even gonna. It took me a minute to realize that Amy wears this Black Crafts t-shirt, I think is what it is, a lot. So that other sermon on the couch that she was given about how she needs things to be clean and how she doesn't, wear things more than once, that's lies. The dates come on these calls, Amy. Just to let you know. In case you didn't. Oh my God, the sconce is back, but this time it looks like we're in the bedroom. Or maybe we were always in the bedroom. I don't know, but this sconce is bothering me. No me gusta. It's not that the sconce itself is not cute. It is. It's where it's at, and it's just so, I don't know. It's like she just was like, oh, here's a good place for a sconce,
Yes. And the lamp beside it.
Yeah.
Like, could have spread those out a little bit and made better use of them, but.
Yeah, maybe you should feng shui a little bit, Amy Lang. What are you doing with your life? Oh, that's right. You're talking to Samara. Here we go. All right. Last video visit for the night. Here we go.
About
it is 5 my time.
Oh, is it 5 my time? At 3 your time. Like 3 your time. I'm losing track of my mind. 3 your time, 5 my time. There we go. But I kept saying the same thing that comes up like they couldn't reach the whatever it says.
Yeah.
So I kept clicking down. I got this one. I was like, okay, cool. So then I set another one up for Friday. I was like, same time if it goes through.
Yeah.
And it did. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, no, it's better like that because when we come out at 3, it's hard to get down there because sometimes they don't pop our buttons at 3.
Oh, okay, that's good to know because I was trying to do it like earlier, but it wouldn't go through, and then this one did. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just keep it. It went through.
Yeah, no, most of the time is the later they are, the easier that we're out and that you actually get them. That or if it's like early, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The middle stuff, they be like,
How many of those things do they have in there? Just 2 or
3,
like
but 2 only work. And this
work. That does not
Yeah.
surprise me. They're probably not going to fix the other one.
Yeah. They don't fix that. The receiver on the TV's been broken for a year.
They still haven't fixed that?
And there's 2 phones in here broken. They haven't fixed one shower.
So people probably put in like complaints or work order requests and they just never get dealt with.
Yeah, no, they don't. No, I had to wash my clothes, and then I had a meeting with
I just want to point out for the 11 billionth time all the things that she talks about washing that don't include her body or her hair. Just want to point that out.
Caitlin and one of the attorneys. And then I forgot to tell her something. And I was like, crap. But I was with them for like an hour.
How did that go? Was it good?
Yeah, just talking about what was going to jail. You know, someone in here overdosed on fentanyl the other day, so we got put on lockdown.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're in the hospital.
How do they even get that in there? Because that's like a pretty fast acting thing.
I used to try to tell them this because I feel like that's something that's not snitching because you're trying to save someone's life.
Yeah.
But like I used to like try to tell them, I'd be like, you know they're masking it. There's a certain way to mask it. Come on. But I just gave up trying to get them to understand. And they know who's pushing it in the county. They know who the big time fentanyl people is in the county, but they ain't arresting them. So.
And I would wager a bet that, I mean, I hate to say it, but I feel like there's probably people who work there that are probably help bringing stuff in.
No, and they're running the fentanyl freaking out of the hotel here. And that's all people are doing is going to the hotel getting it. And the cops have to know it. I mean, it's knowledge for everybody how they're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. I watched something on TV the other night. I don't remember what it was, but it was like some show about cops or whatever. And it was like literally this cop's first day on the job, like after training, and like his first call was like a respondence to like some kind of traffic stop or whatever. But he goes to search the dude's car because I guess there was enough what's that probable cause or whatever for him to like search the car. So he's going through the car and he like touches something in the back seat like with his bare hand, and his like friend that was with him is like, you should put gloves on. And before he could even do anything, it was too late. He like touched fentanyl with his bare hands, blacked out. Like, what a terrible first day on the job.
I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know how they do the DA stuff here, but it's all around their eyes, everything going on. But you don't ever see none of those big time kingpins coming there. So,
Yeah.
and they ain't at the feds, so they're still out there doing what they doing. Like, they made a big bust in Denver not long ago. I think it was like 60, 70 people. But they don't bust the people here in Colorado Springs because they be too busy harassing other people. So.
Yeah, and you wonder why that is. Like, the lower level people will get caught, but the people that are like all the way up here that everybody, like literally everybody knows about, are like untouchable.
Yeah, and they're doing it so bad at those hotels, and it's such a good scheme they got going on. And then they're giving those people this fentanyl, and then it's so dangerous. And I just can't stand drugs, and it's just like I'm done like worrying about it because it gets them people coming back here in the system, and I've just determined that that's what they like.
It wouldn't surprise me because it's extra. Well, if you think about it, it's extra funding for the government. You know, they say like running those kinds of places is expensive, but like think about how much money they're making off of like commissary phone calls. Like they're making more than what they're losing.
And that's your people right there. Like the people up there supplying it in the tower and all these other things like that. Oh, but they ain't in trouble. But they purposely know what they're doing, and they had intent to do it. But whatever.
I mean, like, don't they do like? Aren't they supposed to do like pat downs or something like that?
Yeah,
To look
but
for that kind of stuff.
when the cartel came up with that, the way to mask it, and it's a product that's sold in our commissary, and people know about it. That's all they do is they take it and mask it, and it's easy as day. It don't matter if the canine dog comes again. It's proven.
Really?
It took a chemist. They hired a guy who was a chemist. The cartel hired a guy who was a chemist. He did all these different methods of trying out different things, household items, this item, and he figured out a way. That's why he became known as the chemist.
Is it an edible product or is it like a household product?
It's a household product.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what it would be. You say you can buy it there?
Yeah, you can buy it here. You mix it with something else that you get, and that's exactly how they do it. You can legit have they legit have that shit mask, and they can bring the canine in here. They can send them through the scanner. They can do all that, and it's not gonna alert them.
I'm trying to think of what it would be because I have no idea. Like,
and here we go. Tisha has done watched one too many episodes of Breaking Bad and thinks she knows things.
Oh my God, it's annoying.
So annoying.
So it's
I'm telling you, because people used to do that shit on the cruise all day long. TSA, everybody be sitting there clueless, and I'd be like, y'all nuts.
So like somebody who's buying it, right? So if they're buying it and they've masked it with that stuff, right? Like how do they? Oh, blacked out. No.
Wait, Jen. Wait, will you rewind it like 10 seconds though? Because I want to see. Can you just double tap on the screen and
all right?
Because I want to see if because she's recording this.
Okay, hold on. I don't know what I just did.
Where'd it go?
I can't even pause it. Hold on.
It's okay.
No. I accidentally closed the window for something.
Oh. Well, yeah, because it looked like she looked at her watch and then lifted her phone up a little bit. You could, I don't know, she just seemed nervous or something to it. And then you play that gremlin though,
Oh,
which is so perfect. But
Shit, I don't know what I did. I don't know how I did this, but I have a whole completely separate freaking window. Let me rewind it. All right, hold on. 10 seconds, you say?
yes, please. And
All
thank
right,
you
let
so
me add
much.
it back to the stream. All right, now you have to find, I don't know how the hell I did this. All right, let's try this.
What'd you say now?
Yeah, what'd you say now?
So like, okay, so if they have that stuff, right, and they mix it with the other stuff to like hide it, right? How do they separate it to do
Oh, it
it
just
later?
come
Do they
back.
do it all at the same
It's okay.
time?
Just
Like,
leave it. Not that big
I
of a
mean,
deal.
you could take the mask and stuff, and like, okay, like say going on the airport.
Okay, what were you trying to look for?
I just wanted to see what Amy did while it was blacked out, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, but it's
All
okay.
right,
You
hold
can-
on. No. We're going to investigate. Oh. All right, here we go.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm on the
Sandy.
case. You're welcome. I want
Yes,
to know
you
now
are.
what she did too. Don't
Okay.
play with us, Amy.
somebody who's buying it, right? So if they're buying it and they've masked it with that stuff, right? Like, how do they? Oh, blacked out. No.
Is it still recording? She's like, I hope I'm still recording.
Look at you. And that's it. All you had to do was put earbuds in. That's all she had to do. But she messed up the recording for herself and for Letecia. Idiot.
Oh, blacked out.
Yeah,
Oh,
what'd you say
I'm
now?
back.
What'd you say now?
So like, okay, so if they have that stuff, right, and they mix it with the other stuff to
Totally
like
not
hide it, right?
recording you.
How do they separate it to do it later? Do they just do it all at the same time? Like,
I mean, you could take the mask and stuff, and like, okay, like say going on the airport, or TSA or whatever, on the boats or whatever. If they just put it in that product, wrapped up, no one ever sniff it.
oh, okay, no, I got
You
you
got
now.
see. That's what you got to do. Is you got to find a person who don't do drugs. The actual person that sits there and knows what the hell they're doing. They can see it clear as day, because see, you got the people who are looking for the people doing drugs, and they, you know, they've been trained in this. They look for specifics. They look for these. They look for that. But see, the chemist, he comes up with something that nobody ain't gonna look for.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to catch on, like, when I'd be like, how in the heck did y'all just meet us here and have this, what? Y'all crazy. And I kept being like, how did y'all, because I would never fly with them or check in with them. I just later and be like, and once I finally figured it out, they gave me a hint, and I figured it out. I was like, y'all are crazy. And sure enough, through TSA, flying out of Fort Lauderdale, went straight through customs with it.
Is it something that you mix with water?
No, it's already made.
Oh man.
I know.
I'll probably think about it. It's gonna happen. I'll be laying in bed tonight. It's gonna be like midnight, 1 o'clock. I'll be like trying to go to sleep. It's gonna pop in my head. Like, that's what it is.
Yep. And I remember, so one time, he had told Harley's dad about it. We were flying to Houston, Texas to see Aunt Brenda. And I was like, this is not long before Chance died. And Aunt Brenda was like, well, y'all both come out, whatever. Well, Chance and I weren't getting back together or whatever, because I was just doing my thing or whatever. But we would still like hang out or meet to see Harley, or like do family stuff together, you know, that type of thing. And he was like, you know, I got to take my stuff with me, but Chance didn't do any like hardcore stuff, you know. So he's like, I have to take my stuff with me. He was like, and Edgar told me how to do it. I was like, don't listen to him. This was the first time I ever like realized that he went straight through TSA. And I was like, oh my God. I said, they literally had the tag in there that said, hey, had been checked and it was cleared and everything on his stuff now. See, I was always funny about that shit. If y'all gonna do some stuff like that, I'm separate. My ticket's separate. My luggage is separate. Everything is separate. Because I ain't getting caught up in y'all's mess. Sure enough, boom, I'd be like, oh my God. He went straight through Hobby Airport, the smaller airport in Houston. I was like, oh my God.
Sweating bullets. If I were him, I'd be sweating bullets. But I mean, I guess if you knew it worked, you know.
Me and Harley was on a different plane, but we ended up there. And we had a separate like ticket, luggage, everything. And I was like, well, we'll know if your dad don't get there. And Harley was like, what do you mean? I was like, never mind. Sure enough, he walks through there, and I was like, oh my God. And that's when I started realizing that they were legit. And then sure enough, go on cruises. That's why people take them one-way cruises. They get on like Bahama cruise lines and stuff like that, and they do one-way cruises. They blindside them. They get right through there, and they get off in Bahamas and stay in Bahamas for a while and come back, or get off in Cabo, stay for a while and come back later. Because you have to, if you start in one port, you have to, like on Carnival, you got to get back on that port.
Now, I don't have the vast education that Letecia does. I'm not a doctor. I don't have a doctorate. But if you take a cruise and you get off at the Bahamas and come back, that's not one way, dummy. Just want to point that out.
Unless you fly out. But what they were doing was taking it that way in. You could, and once you get stuff there, you just fly back out any way you want to, because it ain't gonna matter as long as you got a passport.
Yeah. I've never been on a real cruise, so I have no idea like how those work.
Right. And it's not like they stop the cruise if you just don't show back up. I told you we've been on the cruise before and waved people by. They got left. And like it's the smartest thing, because like they kept being like, they don't, you know, the drop shipping in the middle, the people be watching, and private planes people start watching a lot when you gotta like outsmart it. And I was just like, y'all fools, man.
Oh no, there was one time down we were in Florida. One of Taylor's old friends, he like lived around the corner from us. I forget what we were doing. We were all going in his car for some reason. So I get in the passenger seat and we're driving somewhere, and he handed me something to put in the glove box. So I open it up. It was this giant a wadded box of tinfoil. I was like, who just carries tinfoil around in the glove box? And he's like, oh, it's not tinfoil. Like, we get back to Taylor's house and he told me like what was in there, and then he ended up bringing it inside, and it was just like a crap ton. I don't even know what they were. Just a different kind of like variety of pills. And I was like, what the shit? He told me that apparently if it's in tinfoil, like I guess dogs can't sniff through tinfoil either. I don't know, but I just thought it was like the weirdest thing. Giant wad of tinfoil.
Right. And like it's not against the law to know a crime was committed and not report it. So like you seeing that, you weren't against the law. You just are like, I ain't got nothing to do with y'all stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I kept my mouth shut. Like I talked to Taylor about it. Like I don't know if it's somebody like I'm comfortable hanging around anymore, you know? Because my oldest daughter at the time, she was like 1.5 almost, so she was still little. And Taylor's like, oh, you know, it's not a big deal, whatever. I just keep my nose in my own business. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, like.
That's why I would do that too. I'd be on all separate transactions for everything, because I'm like, I ain't did nothing with drugs. I ain't got no involvement in drugs. I ain't never did drugs, and I ain't nothing involved with it. So stay away from that shit.
I got one for you. I have to go see my pain specialist like once a month, you know. So I do like these you know, just like checkup things. But every time I go, they do like a UA because it's like a pain clinic. So like a lot of people that get opioids, I don't, but I still have to do it anyways. Well, I went in. It was like 2 months ago. I went in, and usually like the nurse or whatever comes in, takes blood pressure, leaves. Doctor comes in, we talk. All is right and well with the world. I leave for the day, right? So the nurse comes in. She was acting real sketch, and it's like the same girl I always get. So I'm like, huh. So then the doctor comes in and she's with him, and he's like, and keep in mind I had my kids with me, okay? He's like, we need to have a serious talk with you today. And I was like, okay, what about? Because usually he and I kind of like joke around and stuff. He's like, well, we got your like the urinalysis back from last month, and like you tested positive for cocaine. I was like, hold on, wait a second. I'll own up to all the dumb stuff I've done in my life. Like if I would have done cocaine, I'm pretty sure I would have remembered it. Like that's a hard no. Like I've never done illegal drugs, period. Like I've only done prescription drugs, like what's prescribed to me, right?
Right.
So he's like going on and on about how like, well, he can't give me my medicine that I get from, and like the protocol is like if you test positive for an illegal drug, they have to kick you out for a month, and you come back. If you're clean again after that, you're good to go. you test like positive again, they'll kick you out for good. So I'm sitting there like having a meltdown, mostly because I'm trying to figure out like how the hell would I have gotten that in my system.
Right.
So I'm telling him like that's not right. Like I've never done that. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? He probably hears that all the time from everybody who does do that stuff.
Yeah.
They're trying to cover their ass, you know. And he was like, well, you know, what does your husband do? Like, does he do anything like that? Or your friends? Or, you know, have you gone around anybody to their house that does it? And I'm like, no, like I haven't even left my house in like 3 or 4 days. So I don't know. And he's like, oh, well, it came back. It was like 0.0003%, like a ridiculously like small amount. He's like, so that means you would have had to have done it like 2 days ago. I was like, I've been sitting in my house for like the last like 3 or 4 days with my kids. What are you talking? I'm not joking when I say like it takes a lot for me to like have a meltdown. Oh, I had a meltdown because he was like drilling it into my head, like, oh yeah, you definitely did it. So I'm sitting there like, I finally broke down. I started crying like in front of my kids, and they're like, what's wrong with mom? So he sends the nurse lady away, and you know, he shuts the door, and he tells me that he believes me, but he has to do his job, but he's willing to bend the rules a little bit. So he's like, I'll still give you your medicine for the day. I'm gonna have put a request in for them to do retest or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll go from there. So I went out to the parking lot, and I sat in my car for like a half hour in their parking lot, just like crying, like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
I called Taylor and I told him, and he's like, what the? I decide to leave. I get a call from a random Fayetteville number. I answer it, and it's my doctor. He called to apologize because he, I guess whoever wrote up my chart had really sloppy handwriting, and he thought they had circled something like the cocaine or whatever, but I guess they had circled what was beside it, which is like what I do take all the time.
Yeah.
So he misread it and just gave me a freaking heart attack for no reason.
God. And like people drill it in your head so much, you start to wonder, like, well, did I do it?
Did I do it?
I just don't know.
Don't know.
Well, that's what I told Taylor, and he's like, well, if you did do it, you can tell me. And I'm like, I would have told you if I did. Like, I don't keep secrets from you. I'm like, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if you handled cash, you know, that they say like 80% of cash in the world has like minuscule amounts of cocaine on it from what's his name? I can't think of it. Not El Chapo, but yeah, no, I was like, I don't know. I don't remember having cash, but yeah, no. I was sitting there wondering, like, could I have been around somebody? Did I like grab the mail and it had it on the outside? Like, what happened?
Yeah. They start making you believe that shit. When people say enough, you be like, oh my God, you just be sitting there like, did I do this? This is awful.
Yeah, it put me in such a bad mood because I was like, I don't know how it would have even gotten into my system, or like I was literally questioning my whole life at that point.
Okay, Amy is talking about one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Letecia is talking about something else. When she says, they put it on you, like, then you're questioning yourself, like, I did it. Did I do it? Did I do it? Did I do it? Amy
That's
might be
awful.
talking
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Amy, it might be talking about one thing, but Letecia's talking about something completely different.
Yes, I caught that too. Night Wolfie.
Night Wolfie. Oh.
And Amy, come on, lady. You think you failed for cocaine because it was on your mail? Give me a break, lady. I'm sorry. I don't believe that for a second.
Right. Exactly. I don't care what she goes to the clinic for. But
I don't care either. But yeah.
Stop playing, Amy. Okay. This isn't 2001. We're not talking about anthrax. You need to cut the shit, lady. Get the fuck out of here. It's on my mail. What the hell is your government employee postal worker up to then, Amy?
Yeah.
Jesus. Here we go. We don't have very much left. Let's see. Oh my God. Like, what is that? 12 minutes? Here we go.
One time, and the poor girls are like, what's wrong with mom? Oh, but he was nice enough to call, and then he apologized. He's like, I feel so embarrassed. I'm like, actually, like, I don't even care that you messed up. It's fine. I'm just happy that we found out everything's fine.
Right.
I'm so crazy about it because, well, first and foremost, I saw how bad the drugs would get to, people went to school with, and I'd look back or whatever. Then when, I dated Travis, and it was bad, he was on drugs. But what got me the most was Chance, because Chance was never, like, on drugs. He would smoke his pot and stuff, but, like, he would never do drugs and stuff like that. Which is why I'm still always convinced that I think Edgar had something to do with it. But whatever. But that's what got me like where I was just like an advocate, like, y'all leave that mess alone. Leave drugs alone. You know.
Wow, that Edgar is a busy, busy man. Just running around unaliving folks left and right. First, he started with Chance, which is a complete lie. Now, she's implicated this Edgar, who also doesn't exist, in murdering Gannon, all because she refuses to take accountability for anything.
It makes me wonder
Edgar.
if she had something to do with what happened to Chance, even though
Right,
he
and
overdosed. But
right,
I mean,
and she just said he never did drugs. He might smoke pot. What the hell did he smuggle into Mexico then?
yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
Jesus fuck, Letecia. Do you even hear your? No, you can't possibly. I think you do hear yourself. I think you just don't care. All right, here we go.
Yeah. What happened with Chance? I think you told me before, didn't he? OD, is that what it was? Oh man.
But he didn't have any of his jewelry. The necklace that was his mom's. None of that was on him. The Jordans he had, none of that. All that was gone out of his room.
Was he at his house when it happened?
He
Or
was
he
at the
somebody else's
hotel,
house?
but when I had talked to Chance 2 days prior, when he was telling me about this whole money, he was like, I need you to get this money to my aunt. And I was like, what money? I ain't get no money to nobody unless you give me some child support. You know, so I was just saying things like this, but he had a shit ton of money. And I was just like, okay. So then he FaceTimed me, and he was showing me all this money, and I was like, where the hell did you get that money? Good, because Harley needs cheerleading shoes. That's crazy. That's all I asked for. Like,
Yeah.
Look, she needs cheerleading shoes. And then it was just so weird because I started thinking about shit ton of money. He was talking about this loan sharking thing, but it all started making sense to me. More and more I laid in here and I started thinking about it. I was like, shit ton of money. It probably was washed. I'm like, and I overdosed. But it was foul play too because he had marks all on his neck. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because his
yeah.
family told me that whenever the body got back to North Carolina, then they go to view it, they were asking him what was all the purple marks around his neck. And then they were just, he was covered with so much makeup. Instead of white, he looked black. Because it was covering up so much
Really?
stuff. That's why Harley walked up to the casket and was like, that's not my dad. Because he looked
Aww.
black, dude. We were like, and he's lighter than you.
Really?
Yeah, so I was just like,
Dang.
and then I started thinking it two and two together because I was like, if he started doing work for Edgar, because I know that could have been a possibility because he had him one time in Houston trying to do stuff when we had flew out there. But I was just like, maybe he didn't dabble back into that, or maybe he didn't cross the wrong person. You know, because you cross the wrong people in that situation. They don't care who you are, mom, dad, sister, brother, kid, grandma. It just doesn't matter. You'll be eliminated. And so, like, I just kept thinking that was totally not in his character to be going to work the next morning and to just suddenly have this massive amount in his system. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And he knew how I was about drugs, that he would never, like, say anything to me about it, involve me in any of it because he knew how I was about it. And so he also knew how his mom died. So it just kind of made me be like, how did he go from all this money? And I saw his clothes. He showed me on the video. He had Jordans from hell. He had his mom's necklace. Where'd all that stuff go?
That's a really good question. That's super suspicious.
Yeah. And like, I've always thought about that, you know, but we weren't married. His family had to try to get people to look into it. But once the body got to North Carolina, Ohio had already not completed the autopsy. So then they were telling them, hey, you have to pay the money to have his body examined. Yeah.
So, did they do an autopsy, or did they just do like the toxicology screen?
Yeah, just the tox screen.
Oh wow,
because he was in
that's
the
also
hotel, so they
super
were thinking he
bizarre.
was just some junkie. But he was the lead man on the job. He was gonna pay people.
Yeah.
So it just didn't make any sense to me. And he had all that shit
Was
2 days prior. And he was gonna send me the money for Harley's cheerleading stuff because she had made the cheerleading team, and I had to pay for her jumpsuit and her shoes and all that. And he was like, "I'm gonna go to Walmart and send it to you." That was on October 1st. I talked to him on the 30th, and then on the 1st. Yeah, because because we had celebrated G's birthday, and so I had talked to him right after that because he was trying to get me on that day, and I couldn't get him, so I talked to him the next day, and he was showing me all the money and the shoes, and I was like, "Dude, send me some money," you know.
Yeah. Was there okay, so he was good, he was going to work. Was there anybody, like, was he working with a group of people, or was it like him by himself going out somewhere?
Well, see, let me tell you this. So what was so weird is I got a message from my stepmom that morning later on, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't recognize the name." And I was like, "What do you mean you didn't recognize the name?" She's like, "When the call came in to 911 and they said Chance Hunt, now 911 call came in North Carolina. Now this happened in Ohio, but they just wanted to know how to get it with the family so they could let the family know in North Carolina because nobody knew how to get it with the family." And she was like, "I didn't even recognize the name when it came across." She apologized. She's like, "I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't realize that was Harley's dad until later on when it hit me." And so I was like, who in the hell called all the way to North Carolina 911? But at this point, it had been too late before she figured it out. It was the same person. And I don't think the North Carolina, the county police ever picked that up. Like, who called 911 in North Carolina?
Yeah, that's also really strange. That, I don't know, that kind of seems to me like there's more to it than just an OD, you know what I mean?
Because that was the only way they got up with the family is because they called. People kept calling North Carolina Sheriff's Office and kept saying, like, "Hey, we need to get the family because we found him dead in the hotel room."
Who was it? Who found him?
One of the workers found him later. But now this call came in hours before, so someone knew before that he had died.
Why has nobody looked into this? Like, all the red flags are there.
But see, the problem was they were doing, Ohio police had already investigated as overdose and hotel, and they got a lot of drugs in that area, so they wrote it off. Well, Chance had no needle marks on his arms, no, not like that, because he didn't do those kind of drugs. But they were thinking of it as, like, you know, heroin addict or, you know, something like that. He had none of that on him.
Did they, like, were you ever able to find out, like, what it was that they said that he had done to OD? Was it anything that
I
you,
never
like,
got to
before?
see the tox report. No. And I don't know if his family requested it. I mean, I know it could have been something Harley could have got at a certain age or something, but I never did because I've always told everybody it's suspicious. You know?
Yeah, no, that's like super suspicious. Like, especially
Where'd all that money go?
Yeah, and his jewelry, the jewelry he had, his money, the clothes, and the fact that someone called 911 before the hotel worker found him. Like, hello, like,
I
somebody
didn't
had to be
know
there.
until I was sitting in my classroom in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the Facebook kept dinging, and everybody was like, "How's Harley doing?" I'm like, "Great. What do you mean?" And then that's when I kept getting the messages, and I had no clue.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I've always thought
Did
that
he-
was kind of weird because the whole money situation. And I remember one time I asked Edgar, I was like, "Oh, don't you think that's suspicious?" And he was always like, "Well, it just depends on what you get into. You know how Ohio is. You got these places up here in Ohio, blah, 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 blah." He gave me all this excuse about how Ohio was the bad. Is that whatever?
I mean, Ohio sucks, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's parts of it obviously that have like drug problems, but it's not known for being like one of those places, you know.
Yeah.
Did Chance know anybody in Ohio, or was he just there for work?
No, he was just there for work. And see, here's how Chance was. Chance was a racist somebody. Let me just tell you. The reason he was racist was because he grew up in Baltimore when he was younger, and there was these black dudes just always beat him up for his Jordans and stuff like that, and call him white boy and like bully him and stuff. And so once he got tall and big and could defend himself, he started like holding that as a grudge to him, you know, like not hanging out in those spots because he knew how that had ended up for him in, you know, middle school, as he got older, teenage, you know, that type of thing. So that's what was always so weird about that. Like, Chance wouldn't even go want to stay in a ghetto hotel.
Yeah.
or motel.
Like, had he been there? Had he been there for like a long period of time? Like, I know it was for work, but like, how long had he been at the hotel prior to that?
Well, they had only been there a couple weeks, but the thing about it is, if he put everybody else in a hotel like that, a motel, he would go put himself in a hotel.
Yeah.
So how did he get so strong in a matter of a couple of days that it was like, boom, like I'm on that shit now? It was just weird.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. And what you said, he worked in construction, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if he was in construction for a while and he was like one of the best workers there,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious he couldn't be strung out on drugs while he's doing that kind of work. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they were trying to tell the people, because he had that pain patch, because he fell off a scaffold, so he had got a pain patch. So they were like, it could have been that, is what they were saying in the report, because it has certain things that were in the toxic report were certain things that were in the pain patch, and that mixing alcohol with it could be the reason. And it was just like all wishy-washy all over the place, because one say this could be the cause of death, but then it's like, oh, but this could happen too, and this could happen, and it's like, okay, because I don't think sometimes they don't even know.
yeah, I mean, with those pain patch things, like, yeah, I mean, if you mix alcohol with any kind of drug, it could happen, right? But with the pain patch things and alcohol, I mean, like, it's gonna take a lot of either one or a lot of both of them to kill somebody, especially a grown man, like a decently sized grown man.
I need to get a number for me next time. I need you to look up Dr. Fleshman. He's in D-Land, Florida. But I need to make sure he doesn't release any records for Maria Sanchez.
For Maria Sanchez?
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to call him somehow. But I'll get it from you next time. It's Fleshman, and it's in D-Land, Florida.
Yep, I found it.
You found it? Okay.
Psychologist?
Yep.
Yeah.
You found it?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got the phone number, everything, so I'll screenshot it.
Yeah, just save it and I'll get it for you next time. I started thinking like all these things that I've signed. I'm like, oh Lord, he might get Maria Sanchez.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? And I don't want those released. Okay, talk to you later.
Oh my God. Amy, you are such a loser, lady. You need to get it together. The fact that you sit there and laugh, you don't even, oh my God, she makes me angry. Let me just stop, Jen. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Get it out.
I'm just saying, the fact that she sits there and laughs like that, and she sounds like a cackling ass hen, but not only that, she doesn't even know what she's talking about. She goes along with everything, but it's all, how do you feel, Amy, that this was all part of her defense of why she killed that this little boy? It's horrible. It's
right. And how do you also feel, Amy, knowing that you sat there and listened to this whole big lie of a story surrounding what happened to Chance, and it came out in trial? It had to be addressed.
She makes me mad because she goes along with it and she laughs at her like she's her biggest fan. And it's like, I get it to an extent, like talking to her nicely or whatever. But at the end of the day, look what she's done.
Exactly.
And at the time, maybe no one knew how absolutely brutal it was. And maybe no one knew if she actually even did it, but we know now. And it's really hard to watch. It's really hard to watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maria Sanchez, and nobody can get that.
First of all,
so excited. Oh God.
First of all, that's not even how it works. But you see why, but this is the thing. She said that intentionally, because if it were listened to or watched in this case,
exactly.
Right? She's going, she's sending them on another wild goose chase. The same way when she waltzed her ass into the sheriff's office and gave him that cockamamie story about Ed, what'd she call him? Eduardo.
Yeah,
There's been so many names.
Edgar.
Eduardo. That, but they didn't know. It doesn't, I think that they were suspicious. Obviously, that story doesn't sound at all in the vicinity of reality or like it could have happened, but they didn't know for sure. And they spent time chasing that lead down.
Yep, exactly. And I don't know. It's just hard to hear somebody like go along help her. We know she helped her with everything. She's sitting there acting like she's her biggest fan, and Tisha's making this giant joke out of it, just manipulating all along the way, trying to leave little breadcrumbs for the prosecutor. I mean, I don't know. And all at the same time, while we know that she's bashed Gannon, which,
Yes.
she's bashed his mother, bashed his father. She's just been awful. So I'm over her and Amy. But what about the Chance part? What do you think about that?
I think that she's covering her ass, because if you think about what did Harley testify to? Harley testified that her dad was robbed. Is that not the story she essentially told?
Yeah,
that he was
she
robbed?
said, she said she didn't. They asked her, how did you think your father died? When did you find out the truth, basically? And she said, just right before that, recently. I can't
Right,
remember
exactly. But she also said, how did you think he died? And she said, because I remember we talked about this because she was young, and how the story that she told would have been scary.
Yep.
To a kid, to somebody Harley's age, to a kid. And then it turns out, and then it turns out again, that was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie.
Super cruel.
So, and then she weaves, mystery baby daddy Edgar, who Letecia and him have a son together, who she feels very strongly about drugs, but homeboy is part of the cartel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she acts like she knows what, I don't know. She just acts like she knows shit she has no clue about. It's really annoying. She thinks she's so damn cool. And I think the thing with Amy that makes me so mad is she's part of the reason Tisha thinks she's so cool. She's got to be one of the only humans on this earth gassing her up like that, making her think making her think she's so cool, buying into her bullshit, just going along with it. Oh man, I'm gonna be laying in bed tonight wondering what it is and thinking, I'll figure it out while I'm laying in bed, or whatever the hell she said. It's like, you are such a loser.
It's been all these years, and she never stopped to think about what actually happened to Chance until she wound up in jail, charged with murder. Shut up, Letecia. That doesn't even make good sense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
None.
I wonder if she was involved with what happened to Chance, though. I'm really questioning that.
I don't see how she could have been, because what happened to him happened in Ohio, and she was in Colorado. So how could it have or no, was she in Colorado, or she was in one of the Carolinas?
Yeah, but I remember, I swear I've heard people give some kind of explanation to that, though, because I've seen people question in the past if she had something to do with it, and something to do with her own stepdad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think he would, I don't know. I feel like it was investigated, and I feel like, because, okay, if they walked in and they, found a body in a motel room, they still investigate that because it's an unattended death. So
yeah, but if there's drugs and stuff, and I know in West Virginia, there's so many overdoses that if you die, even my cousin recently, I don't think I've even talked about this publicly, I don't know, because she had a weed vape, they would not give her an autopsy. They only did toxicology, because there are so many overdoses through West Virginia and Ohio that, that part of I forget what they call it, but there's so many overdoses that, and what's the other state? Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky, that they're not giving autopsies if they believe it was an overdose. They'll only do tox and stuff. Now, that was long before this because now it's since, the Oxycontin explosion and heroin has came onto the streets, and Chance died years ago. When did he die? 2008 or so? I don't remember. Do you
I don't
know?
remember. I don't remember off the top of my head.
So it was probably a little, maybe before that. So maybe they wouldn't have been, but I don't know. What if they would just write it off as an overdose? And what if she overdosed him? I don't know. The way she talked about it really makes me question, because she's like, he had all this money and he FaceTimed me, and I don't know. I just think she's so evil. I wouldn't put it past her, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, is it normal to go from never having committed a crime like that before to how brutal Gannon's death was?
I mean, serial killers go from never having committed a crime before to being brutal. So, although they do start with sometimes smaller, non-violent crimes, but for Letecia, I mean, this is what's difficult about the whole situation for me. Because she's changed her story so many times, and even her original story makes no sense. And that's one thing that was actually not really explained in great detail, other than like what happened. How did this happen? Do you know what I mean? Like, there was usually they will give a timeline, like, and have some details. It's not they didn't do that. It wasn't, I'm trying to think of how to put it.
I've had his obituary. Let me find it. Oh, man. I don't know if I'll be able to.
I think because of how long it took them to find Gannon, there's only so much that they could tell from his autopsy. And so that part of the trial wasn't as detailed as other trials because of what happened, of the situation with it taking so long to find his body.
But we know he was stabbed a bunch of times, shot, and his skull was crushed. So it was incredibly violent. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was. But what we don't know is how long of a time there was between each incident. Do you know what I mean? We know the order in which it happened, but we don't. And so I think that some of that would be useful to somebody who is in the psychiatric field to ascertain what her issue is. Hang on just a second. I'm sorry. Just give me one second.
Okay, so Chance passed away in October the 2nd of 2014. He was born in 1980 in Baltimore, Maryland, and departed his life on Thursday, October the 2nd, 2014 in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Huh.
So 2014, that's later than I expected, but anyway. Chance is the dog, Tommy, but... Yes,
Chance is the dog, and also the name of Harley's father.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. That's a good question about Letecia and potentially. I mean, we know she did commit smaller crimes. She assaulted Travis. So, I mean.
Yes, and she called in a bomb threat, and she got in a fight at school.
I mean, yeah. So she does have some a criminal history, just not a super extensive one. And I have a feeling that she probably committed other crimes, like maybe stealing, shoplifting, or whatever, that she wasn't ever caught for. So who knows?
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I mean, you never know. I don't know. It's just something my question, but we will never know. But regardless, you can't help but wonder with everything around her, just like the stepfather, and
Yeah.
especially because she brought that into the story with Gannon, right? Like,
Right. Right.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's messed up. Well, I think there will always be some questions surrounding what happened that night, you know, into the morning and in her past. But I mean, I'm confident that even with those questions, I know that the right person is in prison for,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Roro, there are some calls after her sentencing, so we played them like a little bit, one or two with commentary, but the place to watch them is the channel phone calls from prison. They put them out. That's like, I don't remember, Jen. I think we just played a couple of them or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you go over to that channel, there's just a few from when she was in Colorado before she was moved to Kansas.
Artemis says, why lie about how Chance died? I mean, I can't tell you why she did it. I can only say this is what I think. Letecia sees everybody around her as an extension of herself. And so I think she lied because even though Chance's actual cause of death has no reflection on her or really Chance, you know, addiction is a nightmare, you know, and it's hard for the person have with the addiction and the loved ones. And I think that lying and saying, you know, he was robbed rather than he overdosed in some weird ass way in Leticia's mind, it looks better. Like she doesn't want to be associated with somebody who would have an overdose. You see how she talks about the people in jail that are addicts. She's, you know, snubs her nose.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
But she did tell Amy, you know,
tell Amy what?
it was an overdose.
I think that Amy, which Amy? Amy B or Amy L?
No, just now I watched it whenever she, well, she's like, I think it's suspicious, but they said it was an overdose.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
that's different. Yeah, that's different than saying, you know, this is what they said. And I think probably because at that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Also, because I'm kind of getting tired.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm with you. I was like thinking a second ago. I can't believe it's midnight.
I know. So let's end it here, you guys. I want to thank you, Allie, for coming up and doing this with me. Thank you guys in the chat. I forgot to acknowledge some things. So thank you, Melissa, for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate your support. Thank you to the mods. See, tomorrow is Tuesday. I don't know what we're doing on Tuesday, but I know Wednesday is I'm going to do a Patreon live to read a chapter from A Box Full of Nightmares, the book Terry Hobbs. It's Terry Hobbs' story from the West Memphis 3 case. So I'll, of course, you know, make a community tab or make a post on the community tab when I'm, you know, setting up the stream so you guys know to go check out Patreon if you want. Is today Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
That's what I thought. Is it?
Sorry, excuse me. Now it's Tuesday because it's midnight, but yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. Because I don't know. Ever since the 4th of July, I don't like when the 4th of July is on a weekday, like a Thursday. If it's on Friday, it doesn't mess me up so much. But when it's on a Thursday or a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Monday, it messes me up and throws my days all the way off. And I'm like that for like a week and a half. I don't know why I can't adjust. I'm 47 years old. I've been through a fuck ton of 4th of Julys, but for whatever reason, my brain just won't it will not adjust at all. So yeah, Wednesday, I definitely will be live with West Memphis 3 and Patreon. I'm just not sure exactly what time because, Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you, chat, for being here. And I'm gonna go get ready for bed.
All right, babe. I'm gonna play the outro and then I'll be off too.
Okay, I'll just jump down there because I'm gonna go lay down. Okay. Well, I mean, when it ends.
Oh, okay.
Usually we set up there or whatever, but yeah.
Okay. So the Real Housewives of Orange County is on Bravo on Thursdays, and then it's available to stream on Peacock Friday. So I got to work that into our schedule as well. So anywho, thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it so very much. Here's the I'm going to play us out, and you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you back tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. Bye.
Bye.
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. Well, fuck you.
No malicious intent or effort was towards it.
No militia. Finish her!
Minutes later.
We all do a little mad sometimes.
And you know this, man.